Welcome to episode 4 of the Ashley Lay Real Estate Podcast. Today on the podcast, buyer specialist Lisa Allen and buyer specialist Kevin Lay join Ashley to talk about their decisions to change careers and go full-time into real estate.
Hi, I'm Ashley Lay. Welcome to another episode of the Ashley Lay Real Estate Podcast. Really excited today to talk about something near and dear to a lot of our hearts. That is a career in real estate. Some of you may have considered it. Some of you at some point in your life may have said, I really like that. And I like HGTV. I think I want to be a real estate agent. Well, there's a lot more to it than that. But we're going to kind of talk you through that a little bit today. And joining me is Lisa Allen, who was recently licensed just in late 2019. Correct, Lisa?
Yes.
And then we have my husband, Kevin, who I have spent many years trying to drag into real estate. And he was licensed later in 2018 as well. So thank you guys for joining us.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Well, talk to me, Lisa. Tell me, why real estate? Why did you choose real estate?
I love anything to do with houses and helping people. I have been in the interior design business for over 20 years now, telling my age. But I just wanted to do a little something different, and I talked to you several times over the years, and it just seemed like a good transition to be able to start a new career that I wanted to do just to have something on my own that I was responsible for and just enjoy the business.
Right.
Yeah.
Kevin, we all know that I know the answers, but for all people out there in listening land, tell us why you decided to go into real estate after so many years in industrial fabrics.
So after 30 years of experience in the textile industry, Ashley, of course, wanted to drag me into the real estate industry, and I said no for a lot of years. But it's a unique situation for us, and it was the right time. And I think that's what I found with all the different real estate agents. They all have their own story. Many agents have a career before they become a real estate agent, which always brings some character and some depth to the personalities. But I enjoy, I look at real estate as helping people. Lisa mentioned that a second ago. It's really about helping people with a big life-changing decision. And it just stays very interesting.
Yeah, every transaction, every person is different. You learn new things about every different home you go into and the people. So it's a really good business. I like the fact that you can be your own boss, work your own hours. Sometimes it's 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. or later. And you just work. And then the next day it's beautiful. You're going to take 2 hours and go plant flowers in your garden. You have the freedom to do that in this business too.
Wonderful. It's interesting that throughout the coronavirus stay-at-home orders, we have had the ability to continue to work because the government deemed us essential. And I would like to just add the caveat that it really is essential. There are people that, for example, the medical residents moving to Winston-Salem, they have to start at a certain time. They have to have a home to live in. So, people having health issues and having to move out of their home, people in divorce situations, people having babies and suddenly their home is too small. But, life doesn't stop just because we have a pandemic. We make modifications, but it doesn't stop. But the beauty of all that, and my point, is that as a real estate agent, you can do your job from anywhere. You can do your job over the phone. We do virtual appointments. We do in-person appointments. We, through a lot of the skills that many of us have picked up here recently with Zoom, we can do everything down to, we can walk that person virtually through the neighborhood they want to live in. They can walk through on Google and walk down the street of the neighborhood they're thinking of living in until they narrow it down to a few homes, and we show them the home to pick out the one they want. So there's a lot of benefits to being a realtor and being in real estate. It just gives you flexibility in your life and in your schedule. And you are your own boss. You are not working for anyone else, so you set your schedule. But what is it that we have discovered, or we talk about a lot, Lisa, that is so important, that is a danger of becoming a real estate agent? About that schedule.
you can let it consume you 24 hours a day. You can, and you have to block off time for a life, turn your phone off for a little bit and just let people know this is my time with my family, and you have to make that important because you can, especially new, you just want to do everything, learn everything all at once, and you have to take time to just mentally bring it down.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, there's that your time is your own time, but your time is your own time, and you have to set limits. And we call it having a schedule and having it on your calendar. We like to say if it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. Your personal time will not exist in real estate if you don't put it on your calendar and honor that. Isn't that right, husband?
Yeah. It's been a kind of a funny challenge for years with Ashley working in real estate. We might go out to dinner. This was years back. We would go out to dinner and she'd be answering the phone. I got to do this. And I'm sitting there getting aggravated. Well, as Ashley's moved more out of production and I came in also to learn, and I'm answering the phone and she's like, wait a second. I think she had to learn that you have to schedule your downtime. You have to schedule, I've got an hour to eat dinner, I can eat dinner. And I had to learn that as well because it can consume you completely. I think that's the great thing about real estate is you can work as much or as little as you want to. And I've talked about competitors in the textile industry. We had a few competitors and you're after large contracts. So, you're all the time trying to base what you're doing based on your competitors. Well, in this business, I found my biggest competitor is myself and my schedule and my watch and my calendar. That's the first thing you really need to do is understand how to schedule appointments and schedule your time and schedule your downtime as much as anything in this business.
Yeah, if you've never been in a self-employment business before, if you've done the 9-to-5 thing for years, it's a challenge to transition into that. And you have to learn because, like I said, at first you want to do everything and answer every phone call, no matter what time of the day or night. But it's a learning process to block your time off.
Yeah. And the beauty of real estate is also, because you're your own boss, there is no cap on your earning potential.
No.
And there, you have to take into consideration what we just said. You can work as much or as little as you want. You have to not let it consume you. But at the same time, there's something gratifying about the fact that the more you work, you are benefiting your family. And you are growing your wealth for generations. The harder you work, your business is what benefits. You're not working for someone else. And I think that's what was appealing to me initially, is that I was working so hard for a very large corporation, but there was no extra benefit to yourself except maybe a pat on the back for a project well done. Right. And here you can work as hard and as long and just like I've done. I started as a real estate agent in 2000. I went to school in 2005, and I've grown it into a business within a business now. And you can go as far with this as you want, or you can be a single agent doing great things. So there's so many different paths you can take. And especially with Keller Williams, there's so many different things that you can do. So many different career paths in real estate.
Yeah.
Why did you choose Keller Williams, Lisa?
I'm sorry?
Why did you choose Keller Williams?
Mostly it was because of you and your raving reviews of them, but after getting to know other people that you sent me to talk to, just the training, and most of all, everybody in here just roots for the other agent. There's no competition, it seems like. If somebody says, oh, I have this great idea to implement, they throw it all over Facebook and all over the Keller Williams page just to share every idea. And especially being on your team, it's just amazing the help and support you can get just immediately, just a text away or anything. So, and the training they have.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that was so appealing to me when I was first looking at it in 2014 was the culture It truly was, the culture was so different. I believe our culture is one that, like you said, it lifts the agent up. We all want to pour into the other person to help them become successful, because as a group, then it lifts us all up, right?
Right.
And I just love that. And I am an education junkie. I have been my entire life. I'm always learning, always looking for new opportunity to grow. And I think that the opportunity, a lot of companies love to say that they excel at educating their agents. But we really have the basis to say that when Training Magazine retired us as the #1 training company in the world, after we'd won it 3 different years, they said, we're going to have to retire your company because, there's not any other competition, and you're going to continue to win if we don't retire your company.
I think that comes straight from Gary Keller, because you took me to Family Reunion, which is the big Keller Williams convention a few years ago. And I had this expectation of Gary Keller being this, larger than life figure, thinking he knew everything. You think of multimillionaires as this stereotype. And he got up on stage, and he's a very regular guy. And the fact is, he's a very smart regular guy who's highly motivated, but he found out a system that works, and he wanted to share that system. And he's constantly trying to find better methods and better ways and better technology, which he's dumped a lot of his own money in. He could have retired and went home with, sitting on a beach somewhere, but he continues to try to push the organization so that we all can learn from each other so that we can be better. I mean, there are classes called BOLD, and there's a book called the MREA. Any agent can read this. If you're inside of Keller Williams, if you're outside of Keller Williams, it's a system that works. And so the culture of learning starts with him, and it just permeates the rest of the organization.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, from the day you join Keller Williams, you're asked to start a program called Ignite. And it is wonderful, a wonderful basis to start from. Even if you don't join a team, it literally walks you through how to practice real estate. Because when you go to all those classes up front, the pre-licensing to get your license, that teaches you how to stay out of real estate jail. That's how we like to put it, right?
It didn't teach you how to sell.
Right. Doesn't teach you how to sell. Teaches you how to stay out of real estate jail. So you come to KW as a new agent, and we will dump you right into Ignite and pour it into you every, I think is it every morning, every other morning? It's pretty regular schedule for a few weeks until you learn what it means to be a real estate agent. And then we have these great sales courses. We've got one starting virtually soon called Bold Pivot. And it's
signed up for that.
Great. And it is a very intense sales course to, again, grow you in your new craft. And for anyone that's considering real estate, I highly encourage you to go out and pick up that book Kevin suggested called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. It walks you through the first half of it is theory, and the second half of it is a structure of how to build a real estate business. And if nothing else, it will give you a really good idea and a really good picture of what it means and what a career in real estate may look like for you, what that means to be a very successful real estate agent, as the book might suggest. One of the things I think, guys, we haven't hit on is for those folks that are out there and they're watching this and they're going, okay, well, what are my first steps? What do I do to become a real estate agent? Kevin, you want to speak to that for a second?
The first thing is call a Keller Williams agent, call us, and we'll walk you right through it. I mean, if you can operate a phone to dial a phone number and say, hey, I need help, that's the easiest step. Sometimes people are like, okay, I got all these things and I don't know how to operate them. And this is, all this class and stuff. We can walk you through the steps. It's literally that simple. If you call us, you can have a conversation with me, Lisa, Ashley, anybody on our team, anybody at Keller Williams. So for me, it's almost like, yes, it's I got to go to a class and I got to sit through class and I got to pass a test and then there's a state exam. and then there's post-license. No, the first step is to have a conversation with an agent. After COVID, we usually say, sit down with lunch, but right now we can do a Zoom call or a phone call. It's literally that simple.
Yeah. And the classes at the Crew Academy for Keller Williams, they're very flexible. You can do day classes, evening classes, weekend classes. So it helps with every schedule, because if you're just changing careers, you're still in your former career. So that's what I did, is take evening classes, and then post licensing I did weekend classes. So very flexible to do that.
I would also encourage you, if you are considering leaving a job where you are a main breadwinner in your family, I would definitely have some savings, because it takes those couple of months to go through your classes and to get licensed. And then it takes, how many weeks is it? Is it 10, Lisa? Is that right? The first initial pre-licensing?
I think so, yeah.
And you can do it, I believe, in shorter terms if you go more, taking more hours a week. So
right. If you do the day, like Monday through Friday.
Right. So there are little shorter versions. And then, or you could do like my husband did. You can go at night while you're still in your career, and still being paid by that. I would suggest, though, that when you make the decision to start, that you jump. Because if you don't jump, and meaning leave your current career and jump full on into real estate, it's very hard to be successful part-time. It is very hard.
Yeah, I had thought about starting out part-time, and I just realized that in order to get in here and into an office with other agents and learn everything you can from them, you have to do it full-time, and because you miss out on a lot. Yeah, trying to get your brain from one job to another career and things like that. So I'm glad I jumped in.
One of the things that we do on our team, and I think most Keller Williams, if you join any team in Keller Williams, we have a career path program called Career Visioning, and you go to several days worth of courses to learn how to hire the right people. In the process of that, as I sit down with folks and I talk with them about what real estate means and what that career path looks like, we talk about building a life. We call it a life by design. And we help that other person, help you paint the picture of what could my best life look like? Yeah. What does that mean? What do I want for my family? Have you stopped to consider, you're considering, okay, a career in real estate. Have you stopped to consider what does your best life look like? And then we take that's our building blocks and our foundation. And that's how we build out the plan for you to follow, to really grow a great big life by design, where if that means that you are spending more time with your family and doing more family vacations every year, we can make that happen. We can work that plan for that to happen for you. You're the one, it's all on you. Once we build that path, it's on you to follow it. And what do you want? How driven are you? Another thing I would say is that if you go into real estate, you need to have a high sense of urgency. That means that you want things to happen quickly, and you're going to go after it, and you're going to push for things to happen. Because if you're a person that's not highly motivated, real estate may not be the right career for you, because it's going to be hard for you to get up and show up and be in the office early in the morning and be ready with us on our team to jump into script practice and jump into your lead follow-up and jump into your day. If you don't have someone expecting you to be up and show up and be there like a 9-to-5 job. So if you're not self-motivated, it's something you have to consider, because that can also be a big detriment in real estate, because you do have to be willing to go after it each and every day. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Definitely.
Back to your competition is your calendar and your watch.
Your calendar and your what?
Your watch, your
watch. I thought you said your wife.
Right.
Get up, dress up, and show up. That's
it. That's it.
what it's about.
Guys, have we missed anything today? Is there anything else we need to talk about for folks considering this?
Yes, there is. I was thinking that not only do you have a conversation with us, we will direct you to the next people, the next steps. Some great folks, Jill, Amanda, in our market center that are tremendous folks to talk to, and we'll hook you up with those. But not only here in Winston-Salem, but we had a person contact us about 3 weeks ago, a month ago, and said, I'm thinking about getting into real estate down in South Carolina. And I was like, oh, okay. So we talked to them about that and what it looks like. But then we also hooked them up with the Keller Williams folks in South Carolina, and they had a conversation. So they took the next step. So if you're in Oklahoma or Washington, I mean, there's 100 and I don't know. Every time I quote the number, I'm wrong. There's 180,000 agents across the United States. I don't know. It's a tremendous amount of agents in Keller. We're all over the place. But the point is it doesn't matter if you're in Vermont or not. Let us know, and we'll still hook you up with the right people. It's literally that simple. I think we should give them the phone number.
Yes, our number is 336-816-7818. And give us a call, and we will chat with you. And if you're friends with Lisa, what's your number?
336-403-9056.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Give us a shout out. I promise I won't spill my drink on you like I did Lisa at our first lunch we had to talk about real estate.
Yes.
So, all right. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on the Ashley Lay Real Estate Podcast. This was episode 4, Real Estate as a Career. If you or somebody that you know is interested in buying or selling real estate, please give us a call or visit our website at ashleylay.com.